Database is a storage or system that allows you to keep, organize, and manage data. It is a complex program that is designed to store data. It keeps data correctly and retrieves data efficiently. Database is kind of like Excel files, to be said, or it's kind of like a storage space, which in past might be a file register system or something. But now they're stored inside computer systems, and they're really efficient in retrieving data. So if you want to tell a database that you want to retrieve information about a customer, and you have more than 1 billion customers, a database would be able to give you that answer in a split of seconds. That's how much efficient the data is, and it's correctly able to give you the right answers regarding that customer as well if there are attributes stored about it. Let's talk about different examples of the database. Well, there's Microsoft Access, and that's ideally for small businesses. There's SQL Server, Oracle, Sybase, and other databases also exist. There's IBM DB2, there's MySQL, there's now there are even big data. Big data is coming up. There's Hadoop, and there's a lot of other things which are out there. In this class, we would be covering Oracle DB to learn SQL, and we'll be using an instance of Live SQL Oracle. Good question. What is the title of an IT professional that sets up and maintains a database? Well, you guys, if you guys are saying it's a DBA, a database administrator, you guys are correct. So let's talk about a little bit basics about database. Database is a collection of tables. Tables in DB or a database consist of a row and columns that holds data. Rows in DBs are called records, and columns in DBs are called fields or attributes. If you can see, there's a table below which is called customers, and it's referred by the customers. As you can see, it's on the panel over here. The database also has certain other things over here as well. So it has first name, ID, name, street name, address, city, and state. These all are different columns, or what we call attributes. The data stored inside these attributes are known as records. For instance, record number 12, which is mentioned over here with an ID 12, about Beatrix Jocelyn, who lives in 85 Northwest Street and is in Raleigh, North Carolina, is a record. A record is a row which has been entered inside a table, inside a database. And columns are basically attributes, and these are things which you're collecting about a customer. So, for instance, the entity which is over here is customer. We're collecting ID, first name, last name, which is hidden on the column tab, street address, city, and state. These all are attributes which we're collecting. Now this is very similar to if you have actually worked in Excel. In Excel, you would have a very similar kind of a structure where you'll have different worksheets, and these different worksheets are used, will have different column headers and different rows and so on. Databases are kind of like Excel sheets, or database tables are kind of like Excel sheets, where you will have multiple attributes, fields or attributes, and they will have records about them. Relational database management system. An RDBMS is a collection of tables that stores particular sets of data in an organized way. RDBMS or RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, works on a principle that each table has a key field that uniquely identifies each row, and that these keys can be used to connect one table to another. So in a relational database management system, you will have something which is known as a primary foreign key relationship. One table within this database will be related to another table about a different entity using this primary foreign key relationship. We'll get into this in a bit, and I'll try to explain to you how these are made. Database schema. Each database will have some sort of logical structure which can be used to define relationships between the table. Database schema shows how tables are interconnected or related to each other by primary key and foreign key. Now, for instance, if you see this schema, which is the human resource schema on the left-hand side, what you would see is that there is an employee table, which is in the middle, and it has different attributes within it. So, for instance, the employee table has employee ID, which is a primary key. Then it has first name, last name, email address, phone number, job ID, salary, commission, and so on. These all attributes are basically telling you information about the employee. It's also related to some other tables which are adjacent to it. For instance, there's a department table. The department table has department ID, department name, manager ID, and location ID as the attributes within it. If you can see, department ID exists in both employees table and departments table. These actually exist to create some sort of a relationship between these two tables. Department ID within the employees table can be used inside the departments table. And what they do is they allow some sort of a relationship to exist. So if you're looking for the employee's department ID and you want more detail about the department, you can search for the employee, get his department ID from there, and you can plug it into the department ID table, and you can get the name and so on about the department. The concept which is being explained over here is known as normalization. Why these tables are kept differently. We'll cover data normalization and the 3 steps or the third normal form as we get more into SQL and database management systems. But just to come back to this and wrap it up, database schema shows how tables are interconnected to each other. Each table in a database or in a transactional database will somehow be connected to another table. And this is how data is being stored about the whole overall universe, which overall organization where the database is being used. This schema over here is the human resource schema. This might be being used by the HR department within the company. And they might be storing information such as employees detail, what department they work in, what is the location of the department, which country is this department in, what are the different job titles, and the job history. The schema can actually include many more tables. Whatever a company wants to record can actually include a table, might be recorded using that table. And those tables might be connected using something called a primary foreign key relationship. For instance, in the employees table, the department ID is a foreign key, while department ID inside the departments table is a primary key. The primary key is represented by the blue icon over there.